Alaska Baseball League has made it into the month of July as we get set for a Game 2 matchup between the Mat-Su Miners and the Peninsula Oilers. Hi friends, Trey Yannity, Howie Boxey with you. Trey, a really fun game last night. The Miners able to pull it out by 1 run.
Yeah, it was big for this Miners team to get back in the win column. They had lost 4 out of 5 coming into last night, but Steven Lancia got it started early with this single down the line. That drove in the first run of the game. It would be a close one, 2-2 into the middle innings, and Nick Sorelli, the first baseman, delivers here for the Miners with this base hit. 3-2, they would take the lead, but some late inning drama. The Oilers would have the tying run on third base with 2 outs in the ninth, and Colthausen slamming the doors shut. A fly ball down the line, Casey Sinceri there made the catch and got the Miners a big win in Game 1.
The Miners will go for 2 in a row down in Kenai as they get set for Game 2 with the Oilers. We'll have keys to the game, lineups, and first pitch from Coral Seymour right after this. Welcome back to Coral Seymour Memorial Ballpark, where we are ready for first pitch in Game 2 of the series. Connor Kershaw on the mound, into the windup, and he delivers to Carter Young, who bangs this one on the ground to second. That's going to be fielded by Shun Sakaino. Throw is in time for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out in this game. First pitch at 5:59. Trey, as we get into the game, let's take a look at the keys presented by Napa.
Yeah, hot start already. We have offense here as Carter Young grounds out there to second base. Let's take a look at these keys to the game for the Miners tonight. Start strong. We've seen them have solid defensive performances in the first inning. And on offense as well, let's keep that rolling here until the Peninsula. Don't know how much farming will be going down in this area with the beach right by, but do what you can here, Howie, to win Game 2 and keep it rolling in this Kenai series.
Casey Sinceri bats now. He's 28 for his first 89. He took a called strike to start, batting .315 on the year. The 0-1. Driven on the ground, out to second. Sakaino to his left. Nice play. Wide throw. And he's going to pull Dalton Bowling off the bag. Errant throw by Shun Sakaino. 4th error of the series for the Oilers, and it puts Sinceri on with 1 out.
Yeah, Shun Sakaino's had a busy night so far, Howie. We are only a few pitches into this game. He has already seen 2 ground balls, and he's 1 for 2. That one a tough play. Took his momentum across his body to make that throw, and not a bad one, but Bowling having to move over from third to first tonight, that's a tough one to handle. In inning number 1.
Nick Sorelli moved up to the 3-hole. Still no Blake Avila, who's dealing with an infection. Kershaw deals to Nick, and it's a ball taken off the plate outside. Another late change in this game, about 5 minutes before first pitch. Jacob Steele was scratched from the lineup with an illness, replaced by Nathan Rose in the 8-hole. Also sent Sinceri from second to third. Sorelli fouls this one off. So a lot of chaos right before first pitch in Game 2.
Yeah, things really unfolded there at the last minute in a lot of different ways. For us here in the booth and for this game, and for Jacob Steele, we hope he gets better soon. Was excited to see him back in the lineup again tonight.
So for the Miners, just 1 bench player, Brandon Heidel. The only available bat off the bench. 1-1, runner goes, pitches outside, throw down to second is in time.
Wow.
Good throw by Carson Seaman. Catches Casey Sinceri trying to steal second. He's out number 2.
Yeah, this first inning has really gotten off to a hot start. It's had a quick pace to it. We've seen a lot of action. We've seen some outs. Obviously a base runner now. And Nick Sorelli, who's been heating up here, would have had a runner in scoring position instead. A nice throw there makes it 2 outs and nobody on.
The count is 2-1 on Nick Sorelli. The pitch. Swing and a drive into shallow center field. Coming on is Casey Burnham, and the center fielder makes the running catch. 2 in the inning. The Miners get 1 base runner on an error. Nothing else. We're through 1/2 inning. It's the Miners nothing, and the Oilers are coming up as you watch Mat-Su Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts.
For the greatest mascot in all of Alaska baseball, let's give it up for
Game 2 rolls on in the Peninsula as the Miners and the Oilers do battle for the second straight night as we open up July. Andrew Tillery on the hill for the Miners, 6'3", 220 pounds is Tillery. Attends NC State University, 3 appearances, 2 starts for the Miners, 9 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 17 strikeouts for Tillery, who fires low to Trey Becker. Andrew with a 1.38 ERA coming in, arguably the ace of this Miners staff.
Yeah, Andrew Tillery is so fun to watch. He is one of these guys that gets in there. There's a lot of nasty stuff, as he does there on Becker, but locates it well too, Howie. This is a guy that has been around a bit. He is at an ACC school in NC State, as it looks like Becker's going to get some courtesy here from Steven Lancia. But like you said, this is the ace of the Mat-Su Miners.
Fastball sits in the lower 90s for Tillery. Curveball, slider, changeup. As Trey Becker is really smarting down the third base line, trying to walk that off after he fouled that pitch off his lower half. Tillery, last time out, was in an ace-off with Zach Phylos. The Chugiak ace won the battle. Despite Andrew's best efforts, he went 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned. Struck out 6 Chinooks, but got no run support from the Miners as Zach Phylos shut them down for 7 innings, and Chugiak won the game 4-0. The Chinooks this year just 4 wins, 2 of them against the Miners, with Zach Phylos starting both of those games. Becker's back and ready, the 1-1. Swing and a miss.
Yep, and this Chinooks brutal start, Howie, has already given us the thought of a magic number for the Miners. It is at 11 now. They just have to win a combination that will get them down to 1-0.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Tillery disposes of Trey Becker promptly. 1 out here in the first.
And that would mean maybe 10 wins for the Miners, 10 losses for the Chinooks.
Now batting second baseman number 1.
Maybe it'll take him 15 games. That would mean 5 losses. Any combination that gets that number to 0 means a playoff berth for these Miners, as they are still in first place. A game up coming into today.
And in theory, could be over in just about a week if the Miners won every game the Chinooks lost. You get to 10 quickly as Shun Sakino bats. Takes a strike over the outside corner. Fun second baseman for the Peninsula Oilers, Shun Sakino. Got to see him score from second on a ball in the infield. Cal State University Northridge for Sakino, where he hit 185. Swings and misses at this pitch as Tillery's stuff has good life early. Miners don their green uniform tops, gray pants, yellow lettering, and numerals. Miners across the chest. Yellow caps, green bills. 0-2 pitch. Lashed out of play by Sakino. It's the white uniforms for Peninsula. Tops and pants. Red letters and numerals outlined in black. Oilers across the chest for Peninsula, who enters action 5-12, 8 games behind the Miners. Mat-Su atop the Alaska Baseball League standings at 15-6. The 0-2. Driven hard into center field. Young retreats, still going, slowing now. Sakino hit that ball on the button, but he's retired for out number 2.
Yeah, Carter Young really taking his time. Great to see him back in the lineup again tonight. But Howie, I love watching Shun Sakino play this game. He is so energetic, speedy, and drives the ball well like that. We saw him have an infield single yesterday, drove in a run there, and plays a good second base as well. Already getting some early action in this game. Another fun matchup tonight between these Oilers and the Miners.
Graydon West, the 3-hole hitter for the Oilers, will dig in. Trey Triolo, Carter Young, Alex Vergara left to right in the outfield as Tillery brings the first pitch to West. That is an off-speed pitch that drops in for strike 1. Casey Sunseri at third, Josh Pano at short, Nathan Rose, Nick Sorelli round out the infield. Steven Lancia doing the catching for Andrew Tillery. The 0-1. Just missed. 1 ball and 1 strike now. Graydon West, 8 for 35 on the year. A .229 batting average for West. 3 runs, 5 knocked in. 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. 1-1. Inside corner and a called strike by Paul Craddock, who has the plate. Jacob Waldrip down to third. Levante Palmer the new first base umpire as the umpires shift around the opposite way that you would run the bases. First to home, home to third, third to first. 1-2. Bounces up there. James Shimashita out to help get that baseball into the first base dugout where the Oilers reside. Graydon West stares at his weapon, digs back into the right-handed batter's box, waves it around, and awaits a 2-2. Pretty good looking pitch, but called the ball. Full now.
Andrew Tillery is deadly for a lot of reasons, but one, I think, Howie, because he can win the long at bats. Some guys just jump on hitters.
Payoff. Grounded foul.
Tillery will do that at times, but he'll waste a couple. He'll work and at bat if he has to on the mound, and we'll find a way to get the out.
He's trying to win the battle with Graydon West right here. Struck out Becker to start the game. Got Sakino to line out to center field. He'll bring another payoff to West, who checks his swing and fouls another away.
Foul ball sponsored by the law offices of Dan Aronson.
West, Rice University. Limited action for him this year. Only got into 6 games. From Katy, Texas. Stands just as tall as Andrew Tillery, 6'3".
I think that's
3-2 pitch. Fouled away again.
I was going to say, I think he has an argument for the best mullet of the league here as well, Howie.
Good looking hair.
Yeah.
For Graydon.
Excellent flow on the youngster from Texas, Andrew Tillery. Quite the flow as well out there. Supports the locks.
Tillery shakes off Lancia, gets a sign he wants. Left leg kick in the deal. Popped straight up. Right side of the infield. Nick Sorelli over. And he's got it for out number 3. It's a 1-2-3 first for Andrew Tillery. We're through 1 complete here in Kenai. Miners nothing, Oilers nothing as you watch Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Top of the 2nd inning. Miners nothing, Oilers nothing as Alex Vergara will lead off for the Miners here in the 2nd. One of the hottest hitters in the Miners lineup, Alex Vergara, set to take his hacks against Connor Kershaw, who worked around in air in the 1st. Right-hander fans the glove right in front of his face, into his windup. First pitch to Alex. Swing and a shot down the third base line. That's a foul ball. Alex Vergara's average keeps on climbing. 18 for 73, a 247 average, 9 runs, 14 knocked in, a team high 7-game hitting streak. 5 doubles and a couple of homers. 0-1. Misses outside. 1-1 now on Vergara. Alex squaring up everything that comes his way. 1-1. That is a pretty curveball that drops in from Connor. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. One, 2. On the ground, out to second. Sakino dives, can't get it. It's going to be an 8-game hit streak for Alex Vergara, who reaches to start the second.
The first inning absolutely cowers at the name Alex Vergara. How many first inning hits is that in a row now, Howie?
Now batting number 12, Josh.
First at bat hits. Vergara doing pretty good. Flipping
sorry
back.
to put you on the spot there. I know you don't have that number right away, but it's been a ton. He's been
3
amazing.
in a row. 3 games in a row. Vergara's hit in his first at bat. 2 singles and a double, as now there's going to be a meeting behind the second base bag, as that ball might have popped up and hit Sakino hard.
So he's going to try to shake it off here, but he's just been so great early in games. He's been great throughout the entire game, of course, but he's had a lot of clutch 2-out hits in the first inning. I know this is his second now, but has driven in several runs this week as they move him up in the lineup. I love to see it. I love this early energy that Alex Vergara has been getting started for the Miners.
Filling in nicely in the cleanup role where he sat the last 3 times. Josh Pano will bat now, but first a pickoff over to Dalton Bowling, who has the first base bag. Shun Sakino plays second. To his right, Trey Becker, Graydon West at short and third. Carson Seaman and Connor Kershaw pitching and catching. First pitch to Josh Pano. Bounces up there and a decent block by Seaman. Chase Catafias, Casey Burnham, James Shimashita. Left to right in the outfield for Peninsula, who have now lost 2 in a row following last night's victory by the Miners. Another 1-run win for Matsu against the Oilers. 1-0. Fouled straight back. The Oilers have played the Miners tough. Trey, 2 1-run games. The other game was a 1-run game up until the 7th inning.
There's been some battles between these two teams, and Calvin Johnson, the play-by-play commentator for the Chinooks, and I were talking a couple weeks ago. He said, you know what? If the Oilers stick around, they're a scrappy team. They haven't had the hottest start in the league. They can play with anybody, especially if they're in it late in the game.
1-1. Driven to right field. That's going to send Shimashita back. Still going, still going. That is a fair ball up against the wall. Rounding third is Alex Vergara. They are going to stop him right there. It's a double that one-hops the right field wall. 2 runners in scoring position here in the second.
Yeah, Josh Pano picking it up too here, and we see the lineup shifted a bit. We saw Pano in the 3-hole yesterday. I like that role for him, but I think this is kind of where he's going to thrive the most. When he's in the middle of the lineup, he's able to get some leverage on either side of him. And now Steven Lancia, who's in the 6-hole for the second game in a row now, I think is going to thrive in this position as well. Really has some protection in the lineup now. And, you know, when you do go 3 up, 3 down, Howie, I know the first inning wasn't necessarily that, but the first 3 batters of the game were retired in some form or fashion. It gives you the opportunity to do this to start the second.
Lancia fouls the first pitch he sees off the top of the metal that tops this netting, and it comes back down. Falls there for strike 1. Lancia in a big spot early in the game. Runners on second and third. Nobody out. No score. On Friday, first game in July, if you can believe it. Lancia hitting .288 coming in. He's knocked in 7 men. Looking for a couple more right here. Swinging a shot down the right field line. If it's fair, it's going to drive in a couple runs. And it's a foul ball.
I thought we were watching an instant replay of Josh Pano's double there from just a minute ago. That one kind of had the same hook on it, but just a little bit more for Steven Lancia as it drifts out of play.
Lancia now behind nothing in 2, as Kershaw will attempt to polish him off. Corner infielders playing nearly at the cut of the grass. Middle infield back, conceding the first run. 0-2. Bounces up there. This one gets away from Carson Seaman. Here comes Vergara. He's going to score, and the Miners take an early lead.
Just have to take advantage of these mistakes. We didn't see too many last night. Howie and the Miners had to grit it out in that game. Again tonight, the pressure is going to be on. You're still getting used to this ballpark. Don't really know what that backstop feels like. Alex Vergara gets a nice jump, a nice feel for it, and gives the Miners a lead here.
In the game last night, the Miners scored 1 unearned run. Difference in the game. They score on a wild pitch here. 1-2. Swing and a miss. High fastball from Kershaw. Gets Lancia to take a seat. 1 down. It's a big run down at third base with 1 out. Big spot for Trey Triolo, who hasn't gotten in as many games as he probably would have liked to this point, off to a 4 for 26 start. He's driven in 3, a chance to put the ball in play and get a second run here for the Miners.
I know he's excited for this opportunity. Another guy I just love watching play. Has fun with it.
This one skips away. Here comes Josh Pano. He's going to score. Miscommunications by Kershaw and Seaman cost him 2 runs here in the second.
Just got to take advantage again there, Howie, and Josh Pano saw it immediately. And hey, he had a little cheat sheet. His buddy Alex Vergara scored on the exact same baseball a few pitches ago. This is how you get comfortable at Coral Seymour.
So no contact needed to drive in 2 runs as 2 pitches get to the backstop. Triolo's ahead 1-0. Pitch. Lifted out of play.
You know, and now how about the level of comfort for Carson Seaman? Probably not a lot of it at this point.
Saw Jerry Nix catching yesterday's game. Seaman behind the plate in this game. One. Downstairs. Trey, plays like that, as a Miners fan, make you feel very thankful for the catching that you do have in Lancia and Heidel.
Oh, no question. They've been a brick wall, both of them, this season. Some cannons on the wall as well.
Swing and a miss by Triolo, 2-2.
It's just such an underrated part of this game. If you can keep the ball in front, if you can keep base runners at the bags, you know, that they've earned, rather than giving them the free ones, you're going to win a lot of games.
2-2. Swing and a shot into left field. That's going to get down. It's a base hit for Trey Triolo as the line moves on here in the second.
And from the preseason scouting report, that's the kind of hitter I expected Trey Triolo to be. The guy that takes the ball the other way, sees his pitch, is patient, works at bats. That time didn't have to work too much. Gets his pitch, takes it the other way. A nice job of hitting there by Trey Triolo.
8-hole hitter Nathan Rose will bat. Again, if you weren't with us at the top of the broadcast, Rose replaced Jacob Steele in that spot. Steele a late scratch due to an illness. First pitch. Fastball and a called strike. Rose, a player who could use a pick-me-up. 0 for his last 12. Reached a couple times yesterday on bad throws over at third by Dalton Bowling. 0-1, runner goes, good jump, swing and a miss. Throw down to second is high, and the ball is dropped. Stolen base for Trey Triolo, his first of the season.
Yeah, how about that, how he misses several games in a row, comes out here, gets a hit in his first at-bat, steals a base right away. Trey Triolo amped up for this opportunity, taking advantage of it.
I think things like that are what gets you on a coach's good side. Not that he's on Tyler LeBron's bad side, he's certainly not. But it gets you more playing time for sure. Being aggressive, taking extra bags. 0-2. Swinging a little flare down the right field line. It is going to be another close but foul ball.
Yeah, the Miners look like they're trying to hit the line in this inning. We've seen 3 in a similar position. 2 of them, no foul. And how about if you're Nathan Rose? I mean, we're talking literally 5-10 minutes before the game. This news breaks. Having to jump right in there.
You know he will fill in nicely. Good glove at second base. Solid bat. 0-2. Popped up. Back towards us. Trey's going to pull out his glove, race back. And, gosh, a roof was in the way.
Unfortunate, Howie. They don't want us to have the souvenirs here at Coral Seymour. Fair enough. I brought my glove.
That would have been a play. I think you could have made it, and if you wouldn't have, we probably would have had to send you down the hall to the Oilers booth. 0-2. Tipped into and out of the mitt of Seaman.
I'll go hang out with my boy Jonah for a little bit.
Hey,
Not a problem.
If you can't make the plays, that's where you get sent. Down in Kenai. Cross the hall.
Well, thankfully here we have a window that does not open. This is another ballpark. We could be in jeopardy.
Rose takes high.
In Anchorage, Howie and I had a, well, near-death experience there about a month ago. Thankfully, that window did not open. This one does not either. We're not extremely athletic.
Kershaw sets. 1-2. Swing and a pop-up. This one is going to be out of play off to our right. We thank everyone for joining us for Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube. Howie Boxley alongside Trey Yanity. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We always love to hear that in the comments, as the Miners are 4 hours away from home. First true road trip and only true road trip of the season. Don't get to sleep in the beds in Palmer. The host families that so graciously allow us to stay, as this one is grounded past third into left field. Triolo with a late break, big stop sign put up by Watson. It's another hit for their Miners, their fourth in the inning, and it's going to be runners on the corners with one out.
Yeah, Nathan Rose gave that ball legs there as he puts it in the perfect spot, but you know, unfortunately there, Howie, Trey Triolo plays it right. He has to wait, he has to make sure that that ball is going to get through. A nice effort defensively there, made it close. Triolo has to wait, no run. Still one out this inning. Just a sac fly, another ground ball. You got a lefty up here. Another chance to score this second run.
Cade Manning will try to deliver with a runner on third and less than 2 outs. Miners have scored twice in this inning on pitches that got past Carson Seaman. Threatening for a big frame. Manning shows bunt, yanks it back, and takes low a called ball. An attempted safety squeeze right there. We saw Brandon Heidel lay one down a few days ago in Anchorage. It works to perfection if you get it past the pitcher. It's a free run.
Yeah, head coach Tyler LeBrun knows that we love safety squeezes, trying to appease us here.
Pitch out here and a snap throw back to first. Not in time, and you see what it does. Now the Oilers begin to tighten up. They begin to do things they're not comfortable with. They try a pitch out there. Manning not fooled. Neither is Rose, who's back to the first base bag. Cade in the driver's seat in a 2-0 count.
Put some pressure on here, if nothing else.
Third baseman in on the grass. First baseman holds on Rose. Manning squares around a bunt. Pulls back. Ball 3.
And, you know, it really puts pressure on the pitcher. Connor Kershaw, who I'm sure you mentioned in my absence, Howie, the second cousin of Clayton Kershaw. Don't know if you've heard the name, but he will be an MLB Hall of Famer here very soon.
First ballot 3-0. Manning squares around, takes ball 4. As Connor Kershaw, didn't throw Manning anything to hit. And the bases are going to be full of Miners. Danger time for the Oilers as we're back to the top in Carter Young.
Number 20, Carter Young.
Already 2 runs in, Howie, but it doesn't really feel like that. No big hits in the inning. 2 have scored on pass balls. Let's see if we can get a big one here.
Carter Young will try to deliver it. Bases full of prospectors. Pitch. Fastball on a called strike over the outside corner.
I like the synonym use there, Howie. The Panners.
Oh no, that's in Fairbanks.
Oh, they're not in the league anymore.
0-1. Taken outside, something off speed from Kershaw. But how about that? Second cousin of Clayton Kershaw, future first ballot Hall of Famer and perhaps the greatest hurler of our generation.
Definitely has an argument for it.
1-1. Off the plate, 2 balls and a strike.
And so funny, Howie, that Connor is a righty.
Yeah, that just seems wrong, right?
Clayton, a storied lefty in the game.
Connor from Newberry Park, California. 2-1. Downstairs, 3-1. No place to put Young, who's trying to drive home his 6th run of the year. If he takes ball 4, Kershaw attends Loyola Marymount University. 10.67 ERA for him there this year. He's in a whole lot of trouble here in the second inning. The 3-1. Swing and a shot driven deep to left. That should be plenty deep enough. Chase Catafias catches it. Tagging from third is Triolo. Carter Young gets the job done. A sacrifice fly, and the Miners lead 3-0.
Trey Triolo getting across the plate here as well. Nice work all the way around from the Miners. Small ball, as they call it. You get walks here, you get singles, sac flies, bunt attempts, all of the above. All of it executed well. And hey, another run now, 3-0.
Miners now looking for one more big hit to put a cap on this already big second inning. They've staked Andrew Tillery to a 3-run lead at least. Casey Sunseri bats now. First pitch. Taken low. Miners have done it in a lot of different ways this inning. Vergara started it with a shot up the middle that Sakino dove at, couldn't get. Josh Pano, a double down the right field line. A couple of singles by Triolo and Rose. Walk to Manning. And now a sacrifice fly. 1-0. Runner goes for third. Pitches down and away.
Oh, I love this.
Now Cade Manning's going to be caught in a rundown between first and second. He's going to make it. Now Rose is going to have to head back to third. And he's going to be out there.
Don't love that.
What a wild play. Nathan Rose steals third base on the play. Cade Manning gets in a rundown. Nathan Rose gets in a rundown. He can't make it back. So he is out number 3. We'll try to figure out how that one's going to be scored. But the Miners score 3 times. They lead 3-0 as you watch Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. The Alaska Highway Safety Office reminds you that when your speed increases on the road, so does a chance for a crash. Don't put your schedule ahead of everybody else's safety. Stop speeding before it stops you. Message brought to you by the Alaska Highway Safety Office. Bottom of the second inning. And a called strike to James Shimashita. The Miners scored 3 times in the second inning before it came to an abrupt end. 0-1. Taken downstairs. It's a ball and a strike now. Nathan Rose took off from second to third. Got there safely. Cade Manning caught in no man's land between first and second. The 1-1. Downstairs 2-1. The throw came to second. Then the throw came to first where Manning slid back in safety. Then the throw came into third where Rose could not get back. As this 2-1 misses low, it's 3-1. So Nathan Rose gunned down 2-6-3-5 for out number 3.
Yeah, when hitting a lot of chaos there. We saw some pass balls, some runs scored in non-traditional ways on those plays there, but to end it, Howie.
3-1, lifted out of play.
Didn't really expect that, and what I thought it was at first was almost a deceptive play that was done on purpose. You send the runner a few steps out away from third, and then you have the runner on first base, kind of get in between the two bags, create a run down there, give the runner on third enough time to score.
3-2. Back to the netting.
But I think Nathan Rose had different plans. Unfortunately, he was tagged out there and couldn't keep going.
I think you might be onto something, but I think probably what you saw instead was Rose see an opportunity to take off towards third, steal the base, which he did. 3-2. Swinging a high fly ball sent out to right field. Coming in is Alex Vergara. Out is Rose. It'll be Vergara who takes over for out number 1. And Cade Manning got a late read from first. As a trail runner, you should always take the stolen base as well, although he went too late. And then you got in a situation where Rose thought, maybe as you were thinking, okay, if he stays in a rundown long enough, but it just wasn't well enough choreographed by everyone involved. As Jake Brown bats, takes low, ball 1.
Those kinds of plays are a lot of fun, but I think it's difficult with a team like this. You get them for just a couple months. You only get to practice a few times before the games even start, so
Called strike.
can't really plan like you would like to for things like that, although these guys are talented. This is a college all-star league in a sense, and sometimes you can put that stuff in to the plans at the last minute.
2-0. Called strike over the inside corner. 2 balls and a strike on Jake Brown.
We got Broken Arrow in here again tonight. We have Diana Canales, Harold Weems, the Weems family from Farmington, Missouri.
This one driven into right center field. Vergara over. He's got that one for out number 2.
Guys, let us know where you're watching from tonight. Get in there and give us a shout out, and we will shout you right back. We join you from the Peninsula. Kenai here. Such a beautiful place, Howie. And today we had the chance to experience something a little bit different. We went on what I'm going to call a bear hunt. We didn't have any weapons, but we were certainly searching for bears today.
Trying our best. Gonna spoil the ending. We didn't find any. As Casey Burnham bats, takes low for ball 1. Took a trip down the Russian Rivers Fall Trail, and that is Russian like the nation. 1-0. Upstairs 2-0, but I like your name better, Trey. The Rushing River, as it should be called.
A lot of water, moving quickly.
That's it. And a lot of salmon. Down at the end by the falls, 2-0. Downstairs, 3-0.
You know, it's impressive, Howie. I didn't realize it was even possible. I had heard about it, needed to see it to really understand, but the salmon swim miles upstream to get to the lakes.
3-0. Missed outside, a 4-pitch walk to Burnham. First base runner allowed by Tillery in this game.
Yeah, tough to see there from Andrew. A weird a weird second inning where you got 3 runs and you have Harris on the mound. You kind of feel like you can just sleep this game away. You hope that's the case here, but tough to see a walk there. But how we know it's at this time of the year, these fish, the salmon, are looking for lakes so they can get to breeding. They can get to their mating season. They're able to swim at 20 miles per hour to get upstream. I don't know what their Achilles tendons look like, but they have some incredible leaping abilities.
Dalton Bowling fouls this one off Lancia's mask for strike number 1. And yeah, they're going for a record time. We hear from a trail guide in the area. We saw the salmon in their chrome and silver color up by the Russian Falls. Usually, by the time they make it there, they're already in their bright pink, which is their spawning color. So, they're running fast this year, Trey.
They're evolving, Howie. They're getting even better at swimming, which I thought a fish had mastered it. I didn't think there was PRs and records that we were looking after, but you know, hopefully they have a Hall of Fame. Hopefully they have some way of honoring each other. We're going to honor what they're doing right now, at least, and it was fun getting to see them.
A couple of pickoffs here of Burnham, as our own salmon, the Chugiak Chinooks, are struggling. 4-15. They lost a couple last night against the Anchorage Bucks. 0-1. This is downstairs. The Bucks, Trey, suddenly surging. They're winners of 5 straight. They're 12-10. They're just 3.5 out. A huge game with the Glacier Pilots tonight from Mulcahy Stadium. The Bucks will be the home team. The Pilots come in winners of 3 straight, 11-2. Something has to give. The Bucks could be a game and a half out for second after tonight, as Tillery is trying to make sure Burnham stays nearby.
You know, the way this league is set up, it lends itself to competitive baseball. It's not long enough for a team to run away with it. This year, the minors started to look like that first couple weeks, but you know, the Pilots are keeping them close, and now the Bucks making the surge, keeping it interesting into July.
1-1, runner goes, pitch is grounded, foul past third, left of the bag.
Close one there.
That was close. Almost hopped over it. Called foul by Paul Craddock, the home plate umpire. Lancia out to chat with Tillery for just a moment as they try to get on the same page for how they are going to gun down Bowling. Bowling has struck out 15 times this year. Comes in hitting 1-3-5. Lancia looks over to the third base dugout, throws his mask back on. Tillery sets at the belt. Kicks and fires. That one missed low. Looked like he tried a curveball. Miners scored 3 times in the top of the inning. It's where this game stands, 3-0. Another beautiful day down on the peninsula. 69 degrees this time at first pitch. Under partly sunny skies, about 14 degrees warmer.
Look who's back, Howie.
And yeah, our friend is back. If you joined us yesterday, featured a dog quite prominently on the broadcast. And in fact, at this point, you probably just turn a camera on it.
Yes.
Probably be pretty entertaining. 2-2, runner goes. Pitch is fouled away. Long battle between Dalton Bowling and Andrew Tillery. Burnham wearing his legs out over at the first base bag. He's tried to take off for second a couple of times.
See how long it takes him to penetrate the bag. Already dipping his head in there. I love it. But no, Howie, this is Andrew Tillery's game, I think. One of the keys till the peninsula. Didn't have much time to really get to that point, but it's another pickoff over there. Runner's back. We need 6 innings. 7 would be phenomenal out of a starter. Haven't seen it too often this season. Got a great start out of Rhett McCafferty last night. What can Tillery do today to keep this bullpen in a good spot as they still have 3 games in a row here in Kenai?
Runner goes. Pitch is drilled out to deep left field.
Uh-oh.
Back goes Triolo. He's going to look up and leap. That one is gone. Dalton Bowling pummels a 2-run homer, and the Oilers have made it 3-2.
Two-out walks are killer, Howie. Cannot give 2-out free bases. Sometimes it turns into 2-run homers as it does here, but you know, sometimes it's okay as long as you don't make 2 mistakes in a row. But that time he walked a guy, and then he hung a curveball, and now it is just a 1-run game.
Catafias bats, shows bunt, pulls it back, takes inside. These Oilers are scrappy. They made it a 1-run game again. 3rd home run of the season for Peninsula. First for Dalton Bowling. Left fielder awaits a 1-0. Drives this one to deep right field. That's going to send Vergara back, but he's slowing, and he has room to make the catch. A 2-out, 2-run home run by Dalton Bowling has cut the Miners' lead to 1. As you watch Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts.
Leading off the minors, number 14, Kenai Peninsula.
Top of the third, Miners 3, Oilers 2. A 2-run home run by Dalton Bowling has cut the lead to 1. Casey Sunseri will lead off for the Miners against Connor Kershaw, who delivers that pitch low. If you could hear, right before we left for break, our feline friend gave us a shout out. The 1-0 called strike, barked viciously for its size. Could pick it up clearly on our Nat mic. Hello on the other side of the plexi. 1-1. Driven down the right field line. This one will reach the seats. Casey Sunseri was in the batter's box when Nathan Rose was caught off the third base bag on an interesting play where him and Cade Manning were both in rundowns. He bats now, the 1-2. Driven hard on the ground out to Zakaino. He's got this one cleanly. His throw is good, and Sunseri is retired for out number 1.
Still hard contact here as we
Number 37,
roll into the third. Can they keep it going? Still waiting on that big hit in this game, in this first third of it.
Nick Sorelli can supply the power as Casey Burnham shifts over to the right side of the outfield. Sorelli takes a pitch over the outside corner for strike 1. We've seen that shift from the Oilers. The infield play straight up, but Burnham shades Sorelli to right center field, which is interesting. The 0-1 grounded foul pass first. Sorelli flew out to shallow right center field his first time up. So maybe the Oilers are on to something. (0-2) from Kershaw. Upstairs.
It's cool to hear that and to know that he is in the bloodline. And fun to watch, too. Connor Kershaw, the guy I've been waiting to see from this Oilers team. Gotten to see just about everybody else.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Got Nick Sorelli to chase that one off the plate. 2 down.
We're going to see that over and over again. It's something we talked about in length last night. How can Nick Sorelli make an adjustment to that? He's going to get a lot of outside pitches. And not often they're going to be fastballs like we saw there. He can hit it. We've seen him start to take it the other way, but got to make an adjustment. Got to be able to hit the outside pitch.
Alex Vergara bats now as time is called by Alex. Kershaw just picked up his second strikeout of the game, 6th of the season. He has 3 games started, all against the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. Enters play 0-2 with a 4.50 ERA over 16 innings. First pitch to Vergara is taken for ball 1. He's allowed 16 hits, 8 runs, hit a couple batters so far in this game. He's allowed 3 runs. 1-0. Low again. Couple off-speed pitches, both of them missed to Vergara.
It's Stacy McCafferty from Cypress, Texas. Hope you enjoyed your trip to Alaska.
2-0. Here's a strike.
We enjoyed getting to watch your son Rhett pitch again last night. Brilliant effort again on the mound. And we have Chickaloon, as always, how we represented Chickaloon, Alaska.
2-1. Outside.
If I can say it once a day, it has been a good day. Thank you to Broken Arrow.
Vergara in the driver's seat. Scored the first run of the game and awaits a 3-1. Ball 4. 2-out walk. Let's see if the Miners can capitalize on their opportunity. The Oilers had a 2-out walk in the second inning. Dalton Bowling delivered a 2-run homer right after.
I can't wait to see Alex again after the game because I just want to ask him about his confidence. The ball has to look massive right now if you're Alex Vergara, and you know, the patience is going up. He doesn't feel as pressured. He doesn't feel like he has to maybe do as much. Now his batting average is soaring, and he's been this hot.
Josh Pano grounds this one to third. Fielded by Graydon West, who's going to go to second to force out Vergara and the Miners in the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, one man left on base. We're through 2.5. Miners 3, Oilers 2. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Bottom of the third, Carson Seaman leads off for the Oilers. Miners 3, Peninsula 2. As Andrew Tillery goes back to work on Seaman. 0 for 5 is Carson. First pitch to him is up and in for ball 1. Carson also pitches for the Oilers Trey, and he's done pretty well. A 4-0 record and a 1.96 ERA. He gets the catching duties in this one and takes high for ball 2. A couple of pitches got away from him in the second inning. So an interesting choice here for Larry McCann. 2-0. Low ball 3.
Yeah, you know, I bet it helps with his pitching. When he gets behind the plate, he's able to kind of understand what it's like to be a catcher, what it's like to work with a pitcher. But overall, how talented, how athletic does it get for a guy to go out there and dominate the way he does on the mound and play a position?
Takes a called strike. I'm sure we will see Seaman at some point in this series. Likely game 4. That's kind of been his slot, at least in the Glacier Pilot series. He won that game as he slaps this one right to Nick Sorelli, who was placed perfectly. Gloves it for out number 1.
Nick Sorelli, nice play there. Laser focus on it. Sometimes I think you see guys tense up a little bit. They get a little nervous when they see the ball hit on a line. Just takes a slight half step to his left and sees it right in.
Trey Becker will bat, adjust his red batting gloves, and digs into the right-handed batter's box. Becker struck out swinging to start the night offensively for Peninsula. Tillery into the windup and the pitch. Shows bunt, pops this one up. That should be an easy out number 2, and it wasn't, as Casey Sunseri sprinted in front of Andrew Tillery, took the pop-up away. Nonetheless, he catches it. 2 down. He's going to apologize and bump gloves with Tillery.
That's all you can do there. That was awkward, as Casey Sunseri just kind of roadrunner in front of him there and swipes it right out of the way. It would have been such an easy, effortless play for Andrew Tillery. Took about 5 steps in, but the out is made nonetheless.
Shun Sakaina will bat. He lined out to center his first time up. He shows bunt, yanks it back, and takes ball 1. Sunseri charging in. Interesting here from the Oilers. A couple of different bunt attempts here in the third.
Keep them on their toes.
1-0. Low, 2-0.
Maybe Casey was trying to stat pad there. He just wanted the defensive percentage numbers to go up. Had to be it.
Guess so. Looked like Tillery was ready, but guess Casey was too. Swooped in there, stole the out. 2-0. Hit hard on the ground, rose to a knee. Will flip to first and retire the side. We're through 3 complete from Coral Seymour Memorial Ballpark. Miners 3, Oilers 2. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Top of the 4th, Miners back up to bat as I will now turn it over to Trey Yanity.
Thank you very much, Howie. Smiley Steven Lancia set now to start the 4th inning as he stands in from the right side. Connor Kershaw will continue in a 3-2 game. It has been a good one. A 2-run homer by Dalton Bowling has made this game just separated by 1 as the 1-0 is in the dirt. Lancia check swing. He lays off. It is now 2-0. As these Miners try to get in the win column for the 2nd night in a row. We saw a 6-gamer to begin the season. And then they lost 2 in a row. A 7-game win streak followed that. And then some losses. A little skid this past week. Trying to get back on track here in Kenai. The 2-0 is swung on, softly rolled, out to short. Trey Becker with it. A long throw, a high one, is not in time. As Bowling tries to snag it upstairs. A nice run down the first base line for Lancia. An infield hit there as that one was hit deep in the hole. And with nobody out, a base runner for the Miners.
Tough play for Trey Becker on that one. The double clutch cost him as Lancia beats it by a half step.
And now Trey Triolo, the lefty, will stand in for the 2nd time. Had a hit, came around to score as he squares around to bunt, pulls it back and takes a strike on the fastball away.
Glad to see Triolo back in the hit column. It's a clean single for him. Line shot into left field.
Glad to see him back on the field as a Seagull crosses there right as the pitch was being thrown. Thought we were going to see some Randy Johnson flares, but nope. He gets out of there unscathed as that one misses away 1-1. The Seabirds making things interesting here, Howie.
He just let one fly right in between the plate and the mound.
1-1, swung on and fouled, out of play. It'll be 1-2 now on Triolo.
And Trey, it was white, but I don't think it was a baseball.
No. Might have thrown off the hitter Triolo. He's focused up. Doesn't think about it. Now he's down 1-2, a runner on first base and nobody out. Here's the pitch. Swung on, softly looped in foul territory, drifting into the stands as it will become a souvenir. Howie, I'm starting to think that every day at the ballpark is Bark at the Park Day here in Kenai.
Must be.
All kinds of dogs out again tonight. Just adds a little to the ballpark. Nothing wrong with it. And now the 1-2 again to Triolo. Lays off of it, called strike 3 on the outside corner. It is out number 1. Triolo's first strikeout of the game. That is only the 3rd of the night for these Miners. And it'll be 1 on, 1 out now for Nathan Rose. Nathan Rose subbed into this game at the last minute, the 11th hour. Jacob Steele, with illness, having to miss this one. Sinceri moved from second to third as the first pitch is swung on and drilled to left. Nathan Rose puts a charge into this one. It is deep, and it is gone. Nathan Rose, the Moon Man, has hit a moon shot, and the Miners regain a 3-run lead, now 5-2.
How about that? Nathan Rose didn't know he was even starting in this game until 10 minutes before it started. He was 0 for 12 coming in, a single, and now a 2-run bomb.
That went an absolute laser beam over the left field fence, as he will get the axe here. 5-2 Miners,
Now batting number
a
29,
2-run
Steve
bomb
Manning.
from the righty Rose. And now Cade Manning, the lefting, will step in. First pitch, a curveball, drops in, but misses just a bit outside. 1-0. Howie, another different Miner to hit a home run. That one's a called strike.
It's been remarkable to watch for these Miners, as we thought it was going to be the Nick Sorelli and Blake Avila show, but suddenly Josh Pano, Casey Sunseri, and now Rose all with long balls.
As that one's going to miss away now. 2-1 the count on Cade Manning.
Cade Manning, of course, with one as well. Starting to pile up as we heat up. Month of July.
2-1. In the dirt now, 3-1. What an exciting way to get into this fourth inning. Now 6-2 in the hit column. Let's see if Cade Manning can keep it rolling. One out and nobody on here for the Miners. And a 3-1 on the way. Swung on and rolled foul. It'll run full. You're on Manning. From the windup, Connor Kershaw trying to bounce back after the long ball. The 3-2, swung on, looped foul. That'll get out of play as well.
Foul ball brought to you by
Manning wants that one back.
Enjoy the
Hanging curve from Kershaw, just missed it.
On a day he did not expect to start or even play, Nathan Rose goes deep, and Cade Manning draws the walk here as the 3-2 curveball misses low. Now 1 on, 1 out again for the top of the lineup, Carter Young.
Now batting number 20, Carter Young.
Miners are working through the lineup card quickly. Already back to the top for the third time here in the fourth inning.
From the stretch now is Kershaw. The first pitch. Swung on, softly rolled foul. 0-1.
Long way to go to match that Chuyak game, though, where they got to the top of it for the 7th time in the 7th inning. It's going to be tough to beat.
That game ended in mercy rule, as Howie's vocal cords almost gave out that day. This first inning's about an hour apiece. 0-1. Misses a bit in now. 1-1 the count on Young. Some clouds starting to creep onto the field here, providing nice shade for this game, but a bit worrisome. The 1-1 now. That one misses inside. A back pick to first. Manning is back. A nice move, though, by the catcher, Seaman. Now 2-1 on Young. From the stretch. A foul ball into the net. Now 2-2. It will run on Young. So many line drive home runs so far this season. But I feel like that kind of speaks to the way this team operates.
Try to hit the ball hard wherever they can. Sometimes they get really good wood on it, and it results in a home run.
2-2. Runner goes for second. A swing and a miss. And Seaman mishandles it. That will allow Manning to steal the base. He will stand in scoring position with 2 outs as a strikeout of Carter Young. Will bring up Casey Sinceri. 2 outs and a runner on second.
Casey Sinceri.
Good jump for Cade Manning that time. Unsure if it would have been enough had Seaman been able to get a handle on it. But nonetheless, stolen base for Cade.
And now Sinceri reached on an error in the first inning, grounded out to the same spot in the third. The first pitch is swung on and drilled out to right field. That'll be Shimashita towards the line. Takes about 5 steps back, reaches up, and makes the catch for out number 3. The Miners regain a 3-run lead here in the fourth as Nathan Rose goes deep. It is 5-2. We head to the bottom half. This is Matsu Miners Baseball presented by Napa Auto Parts. The Moon Man goes deep in the top of the fourth. That gives the Miners a 5-2 lead. This is Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube as Andrew Tillery will take us to the bottom half. Trying to keep this lead where it's at. Yesterday, the Miners got an excellent start out of Rhett McCafferty, and as we start the inning, Howie, who struck gold?
Of course, it was Rhett McCafferty. Provided 6 innings of work for the Miners, 5 hits, a couple runs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Picks up the win. He's now 2-1 on the year, and the Miners are 3-0 against the Oilers.
As a bunt attempt here immediately from Graydon West, and a good one as Tillery mishandles it. He throws it past the first baseman, Sorelli. West rounds first, stands up at second. Nice backup work there by Nathan Rose, but not enough as 2 bases on the bunt, and a hot start here for the Oilers in the fourth.
That was a tough play for Andrew Tillery, but one that he had time to make. Had trouble picking up the baseball, then fired wide past first. An error on Tillery allows Graydon West to advance 2 bases.
1-1 in the error category now in this game as the corners will come in here. Runner on second base, and James Shimashita, the right fielder, will step in for his second at bat of the night. A runner in scoring position and nobody out. The pitch from Tillery. Inside, skips up, Lancia, a smooth backhand, and it'll be 1-0.
You know this game's going to be a fight between the Miners and the Oilers.
The 1-0 now. Fastball misses away. 2-0 the count on Shimashita. If you're Andrew Tillery, what do you do here to keep this momentum rolling? Gave up the home run in the second, but put up a 0. It's the 2-0 now. Called strike 1 on Shimashita.
I think you have to realize that your team is up by 3 runs right now. Just made an error, but no sweat. Have to produce outs, even if it results in Graydon West coming home to score. Make them earn the 3rd run.
The 2-1 now from Tillery. Swung on and fouled out of play. It'll be 2-2. Shimashita frustrated. She got a fastball away, can't take advantage.
We haven't seen the electric stuff that we're used to seeing from Tillery. He's only struck out one man. That was Becker to start the game. Strikeout number is usually higher than that as he came in with 17 on the year through 13 innings, but he's been producing outs.
The 2-2 now. Swung on, rolled out to second. Nathan Rose to his left. An awkward slide as he tries to field it. It is into right field, and West is going to come home to score. The second error of the inning, that one charged to Nathan Rose. Standing on first base will be James Shimashita as the run comes in to make it 5-3. Oilers get one here in the fourth.
Miners defense struggling once again. 2 more errors in this game. Runs the total up to 28 for Matsu.
Two on the night. A runner on first base. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. And Jake Brown will step in. Swing and a miss. Be 0-1. Well, as we talk about it, Howie, that certainly does not help Andrew Tillery's case. His cause, at least. Nothing you can do about it there, but now 3 runs in. The 0-1. Curveball misses inside, 1-1. Pickoff attempted first. What has gone into these defensive struggles here, Howie?
I don't know. Seems to be maybe a bit of a lack of focus for the Miners.
2-1, swung on and roped into left field. Another base hit. As Brown will reach. 2 on, nobody out. Already 3 base runners in the inning. One of them has come around to score. Tillery struggling to find his rhythm here in the fourth inning.
We've seen a number of pop-ups,
Number 4,
not necessarily
Burnham.
result in drops by the Miners, but we've seen, I think, 4 times in these first 2 games in Kenai, routine pop-ups where 2 fielders converge and basically run into each other. All the balls have been caught, but it's been dangerous.
Saw one in this game with Sinceri and Tillery. Now the 2-1. He's going to miss away. Excuse me, that was the first pitch of the at-bat to Casey Burnham, the center fielder. As he squares around a bunt, gets this one down. Charging his Sinceri from third. He bobbles it. Everybody is going to be safe. As the inning will continue, that one, though, will be ruled a hit. As it was a difficult play to make there for Sinceri.
That was a perfect bunt by Casey Burnham, and I don't care if Casey Sinceri fielded that ball cleanly and threw it 300 miles an hour to first. Burnham still would have been safe, so certainly a hit there. And now pitching coach James Dillard out to try to calm down Tillery as the Oilers try to mount a huge inning here, Trey.
Well, you got to give the nod to Nathan Rose, who had the 2-run home run in the top half. Gives back a run here, though, on defense. As the Miners beginning to implode in this fourth inning. They have 2 errors. That one there, a perfect bunt from Casey Burnham, a speedy outfielder. Couple of hits. And now just a 2-run game. As we play it out here in the bottom of the fourth. And again there, Howie. What is Andrew Tillery supposed to do about that?
Frankly, there hasn't been much that's been under Tillery's control in this inning. He did commit the error to start the frame, but an error on Rose. Clean base hit by Brown. Clean bunt there by Burnham. Pitching into some bad luck here as the Oilers are trying to rally in the fourth.
Nick Sorelli, the first baseman, playing on the lip of the grass. Bases loaded, nobody out. Tillery's going to take a moment. as Dalton Bowling, who already has a home run in this game, will stand in. Bags full of Oilers. From the windup is Tillery. That one hits him. A fastball in the chest, another run in, and now just a one-run game yet again as Shimashita will cross it. Bowling wears it. 5-4 Miners.
Still nobody out in this inning.
Now batting number 11, Case Kenai.
We'll see how much longer Tillery is allowed to go.
Things getting off the rails here in the fourth inning. He was just settled down by pitching coach James Dillard. So they got some things worked out. But a fastball at the letters. We'll keep the bases loaded. 5-4 Miners, nobody out. And Chase Catafias. The first pitch, swung on, fouled out of play.
Foul ball brought to you by Gary and Sharon Hale.
Gotta imagine this Oilers lineup is now hungry. Gonna be aggressive early in these at-bats.
Tillery could desperately use the first out here just to see an Oiler retired for the first time in a long time.
From the windup again. Curveball swung on, rolled out to third. Sinceri charges, he throws to the plate, force out there. Lancia is going to hold on to it. A big out for the Miners here to keep this game at 5-4. It is the first out of the inning. The bases will remain loaded, but Casey Sinceri heads up. He gets the out at the plate.
Good play there by Casey Sinceri. Anytime there's a play at the plate, it's not routine, but he made a good throw there and forced out the lead runner.
And now Carson Seaman. Lined out to Sorelli in his first at bat. Bases juiced, one out, the first pitch. Swung on and lifted high in the air. Left center field. Triolo gives way to Carter Young. Ball is caught in left center. Throw is into third as they will concede the run. Casey Burnham comes in to tie this game 5-5. A sacrifice fly for Carson Seaman. Nothing much you can do there, Howie, as the Oilers take advantage of their runner on third base with less than 2 outs. A tie game, a new one here in the fourth, as 3 runs in by Peninsula.
Taking advantage of the mistakes by the Miners. 3 unearned runs in this inning, which has seen 2 errors from the Miners. Costly ones.
Now Trey Becker. Runners on first and second, takes a curveball, takes a strike. 2 outs in the inning, a 5-5 game.
Well, at least the crowd is encouraging you, Trey. They said have some fun. Sure, they're talking to you.
Of course, all kinds of Treys at the ballpark. One in left field for the Miners, one at bat here in the 0-1. That one is spiked, and a beautiful snag by Lancia. This could be a rundown. Throw to second is in time. Tag from Pano is not. He was not in position. He was unable to get back to the base runner, Dalton Bowling, who slides in safely to second. That is costly, as the Miners had him dead.
That was played perfectly by Steven Lancia, who had an excellent backhand stop. Bowling thought there was no way he was going to stop it. Then he did the right thing, ran straight at the runner. Just needed Pano to be in position to make the tag out. But he wasn't, so inning continues.
Had him by 5 feet there. As the 1-1 is going to be a called strike on the outside corner. Now a soft throw to third. That one is in time, but the tag is again late from Casey Sinceri this time. Still no outs recorded as Steven Lancia has thrown 2 gems and runners on second and third with 2 outs. Can you believe this, Howie?
I cannot, especially on that one. I have no idea what the base runner Bowling and Catafias were doing. Bowling took off way late. By the time Lancia had the ball, he was only halfway to third. He tossed it down. Tag looked to be in time, but called safe.
As that one is going to miss high now, 2-1. Dalton Bowling has a force field around him, avoiding 2 tags. The first one missed by Pano. That one, another beautiful throw from Steven Lancia. And now a 3-1 count for Becker. And it misses low. As that will now make it 3-2. Excuse me, it was 2-2 heading into that pitch. Runners on second and third, 2 outs in a 5-5 game from the windup. Here's Andrew Tillery. Curveball swung on, softly poked to the right side. It drifts foul. It will find dirt, and we'll do the 3-2 again. What a crazy fourth inning.
Couple of errors, couple of miscues, and it continues. Oilers have a chance to take the lead through all the smoke, and there's not even smoke down in Kenai, Trey.
Saw some on the way down here yesterday, but it cleared up after Anchorage as the 3-2 again. Curveball misses in. It is ball 4, and the bases will be loaded yet again here in the 4th. Shun Sakino, the second baseman, will step in for his third at bat of the night. Bases loaded, 2 outs in a tie game. Andrew Tillery trying to get out of the fire here.
And he's not going to be allowed to do so as Tyler LeBrun was on the top step. Calls time. He's going to come in and yank out Andrew Tillery, who just ran into some really bad luck here in the 4th.
Tough inning for the ace of the Miners, the starter tonight. 5 runs on the board for the Oilers, 3 here in the 4th. That is going to do it for the starter out of NC State.
Tillery will depart with 3 runners his responsibility. He's given up 5 runs to this point, just 2 of them earned. Any additional runs that scored would also be unearned. He's only given up 3 hits. He did allow a home run, walked 2, hit 1, struck out 1, and for Tillery, by no stretch, his best start, but probably should have gone a bit longer than it did here.
Yeah, an unfortunate turn of events is we saw those 3 runs in the top of the 2nd. I thought that was going to be enough to allow Tillery to kind of snooze through this game. He looked good in the 1st. Allowed 2 there in the 2nd to make it 3-2. Get some more pad in the top half of this inning. But just unable to get outs here and really unable to get that 3rd out to finish off the 4th. You can mark off one of the keys to the game as they will now have to turn to Liam Hadakanaka to take these Miners through the middle innings.
No game is a sleepwalk against the Oilers down in Kenai. There's too many bears, Trey. You got to stay awake. Be ready to fight.
I thought they were hibernating, Howie. Not that time of the year.
But it will be Liam Hadakanaka for the Miners, who we have seen a heavy dose of on the mound. Will make his 8th appearance. He's allowed 19 hits, 9 runs, 6 of them earned, 9 walks, 14 strikeouts. He's pitched over 17 innings, and a 3.12 ERA. 2-0 record for Hadakanaka. Not bad at all. Miners need him to get 1 out to start to send this game to the 5th, still tied.
Yep, his journey through the season has been a fun storyline as he struggled early on, had a bounce-back effort on a Sunday afternoon that has changed his summer as he comes in now with the bases full of Oilers. 2 outs in a 5-5 game. The lefty is set, the first pitch. Taken for a ball inside. Sakino a flyout and a groundout in this game. Big opportunity here as Hadakanaka's 1-0 is not going to happen. A balk is called, and the Oilers will have their first lead tonight. As the run will come home, the bases were loaded. An explosion here in the bottom of the 4th, 6-5 Oilers.
Gotten used to seeing the balk call. Another one there called on Hadakanaka.
In a 2-0 count, the pitch. He's going to misweight. That will now make it 2-0 as the pitch was voided on the balk call. We have seen so many called in the last 2 weeks, Howie.
7 of them.
Really last week even.
Yeah.
2-0. Misses away now 3-0 on the hitter Sakino. This fourth inning absolutely will not end for the Miners.
Balk train started on Monday. Miners saw a couple then.
3-0. Sekino squares around a bunt. He pulls it back and a strike.
They also saw a couple on Sunday, the day before that. A couple more on Wednesday, if you can believe it.
The 3-1 now is swung on and rolled out to short. Pano mishandles it. He's not going to have a throw to first, but is able to backpick the runner. Becker trying to take third, throw to the plate. Lancia hauls that in and makes the tag. Some more chaos at the end of this inning on another error, as another run was able to come home on that play. 7-5 now. 5 runs in the fourth have given the Oilers their first lead of this series. This is Mat-Su Miners Baseball presented by Napa Auto Parts. Chaos ensues in the fourth inning as the Oilers put up 5 runs and take a 7-5 lead. Just 4 hits on the board, but now 7 runs in the lead in this game. Some mistakes for the Miners as they will try to turn it around on offense here. They are facing a new pitcher in Mose Hayes, a native of Alaska, originally from Homer. He will step in now and make his first appearance against the Miners this season, as Nick Sorelli will be the batter, trying to answer here in the top of the 5th. From the stretch will be Hayes to start, and his first pitch swung on and fouled away.
Saw Mose Hayes a couple of weeks ago in Palmer.
As that curveball drops in for a strike, a nice pitch there to make it 0-2 now on Sorelli.
Not a very imposing pitcher on the mound, but he pitched pretty well over 4 innings against the Miners. Allowed a few runs, struck out a couple. Just looks like such a mismatch, him versus Sorelli.
Now the 0-2. Fastball misses away, 1-2.
Trey for the Miners on defense. Got to figure something out and figure something out in a hurry. That was brutal there in the 4th.
Something we hope we're not getting used to. Seen a big-time uptake in errors this week. The 1-2. Curveball swung on, drilled foul on the ground.
Still just a 2-run game. Feels worse than that for the Miners after a frame where they committed 3 errors and allowed 5 runs to cross. Sloppy inning for Matsu.
And now the 1-2 to Sorelli. Swing and a miss. A strikeout to begin the 5th. Alex Vergara will step in for the 3rd time tonight.
Mose Hayes takes over for Connor Kershaw, who worked 4 innings, allowed 6 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. He is now off the hook after his team took the lead.
And for the Miners, how do you respond?
I think it starts offensively. Got to pick your pitching staff and defense up.
Vergara sees a curveball away, 1-0.
If you made a mistake in the field, take that energy and bring it into the batter's box. Unleash some anger on the baseball.
Vergara 1 for 1, a walk in the 3rd. Go along with an infield hit. Now the 1-0, taken for strike number 1. Vergara came around to score in the 2nd inning. The first run of this game. Now 12 on the board. So the 1-1 is swung on and missed. A curveball. A lot of movement on this curveball from Mose Hayes. It has been dazzling in these first 2 at-bats. 1-2, the count on Vergara. Working exclusively out of the stretch. There's another curveball as that one misses away. Bounces up. He's going to drill Carson Seaman. He is all good. It is 2-2.
Fun to watch. Mose Hayes, local product from Homer, Alaska, which is just 80 some odd miles south of here.
Heard it's a beautiful place, Homer.
And as we mentioned, not an imposing figure on the mound, but he throws strikes, has a really good curveball, and he gets outs.
2-2 is swung on and miss. And Howie, he has 2 quick outs here in the 5th, 2 strikeouts, and has looked amazing so far.
Similar to Zach Philos, don't necessarily have to be the tallest guy, strongest guy in the room. His fastball sneaks up on you, has a lot of run on it. He has that plus curveball, mixes in a changeup as well. And it works for Mose Hayes.
Well, he is definitely proving that true here to start the 5th as this one is swung on one hop out to short. Becker with the backhand. Long throw, a looping one in time for out number 3, Mose Hayes. After a long 4th inning, making quick work of the Miners here in the top of the 5th. It will remain 7-5 as we head to the bottom half. This is Matsu Miners Baseball presented by Napa Auto Parts. We Alaskans like to ride hard, but we also work hard for our ride. That is why RC Detail offers our monthly detail club so that you can keep that showroom shine inside and out all year round. RC Detail is also the only G-Technic certified ceramic installer in all of South Central Alaska and are trained pros in the art of paint correction. Go to rc-detail.com to learn more because your vehicle deserves the best. RC Detail, it is all about the details as we begin the bottom of the fifth. 7-5 Oilers over the Miners. First pitch is swung on by Graydon West and rolled foul 0-1 as Liam Hadakanaka continues on into the fifth now. Came in there in the bottom of the fourth to relieve Andrew Tillery. Maybe one of the low points of this season. At bottom of the fourth. The 0-1 is strike two as it hits the outside corner.
As you mentioned during the break, eerily resembled Monday's game when the Miners defense committed a season-high 6 errors, had a couple in a couple different innings.
0-2, check swing, but no appeal, it's a ball.
But defense-wise, Trey, probably their worst inning of the year with 3 errors, and honestly, it's strange to think of how they even got out of it. It was on a play that an error was committed, but luckily they were able to finally get out number 3.
1-2, misses away. Now 2-2 the count. Close ones there from Hadakanaka. One of those you just want to forget about. Flush it. As that 2-2 is going to miss low and away. Now 3-2. Seeing some comments about the camera. We'll get our technical director on it to get that hooked up. You can grab a couple of the interns and they'll get it cranked out here. Now 3-2 is the count. That one is fouled off to the right side. West just got a piece of it off the end of the bat. He will stay alive and face a full count again.
Always love sending the interns up about 12 feet high. Stack the plywood.
3-2 in the dirt. That is a walk of Graydon West. With nobody out, a base runner for the Oilers. Interns do great work. They have been really showing out this week to get us on the air here from Coral Seymour Stadium. But we'll give them the rest of the night off. As West reaches with nobody out, now James Shimashita. The right fielder takes that one inside, now 1-0. Takes another fastball, that one's going to register. 1-1 the count. Sadakanaka using as many different arm slots. Casey Sincere, the third baseman, in on the corner. As a pickoff attempt to first, the runner West is back. Now the 1-1. Curveball is going to miss a bit inside. 2-1 the count. This game has just gone off the rails. But still a lot of baseball left to be played. As the runner goes for second, that one is swung on and lined into right center field, where Nathan Rose might have been playing. West will be allowed to take third as he got a great jump on the steal. Now runners on the corners, nobody out. James Shimashita reaches for the second time tonight as the Oilers continue this rally from the fourth now into the fifth.
If they were going to put a video tutorial on how to execute a hit and run, Trey, that would be the video that would be placed there. As Graydon West took off to second base, Rose went to cover the bag, and James Shimashita placed the ball perfectly right where Rose would have been standing. First and third, just like that, as the Oilers try to add on.
And this comeback has been fueled by a lot of different things, but perfect timing and placement has been one of them as they execute yet again. Now the first pitch to Jake Brown is in there for a strike. Corners, well, one of them, Sinceri, the third baseman, will remain in. Sorelli will continue to hold on the runner at first. Got to stop the bleeding here. 0-1. Swung on, popped up, foul, out of play. It'll be 0-2.
Chase is on for the foul ball down the first base side. As the kids scramble down just one ramp. Trey, no playing dirty. You can't shove your little brother into the steel pole.
That'd be dangerous.
Mom doesn't like when you do that.
No. Pickoff attempt. Runner is back. Well, it kind of spirals around. You can lose vision of mom, potentially. But she always knows.
That's true.
Always.
If she doesn't see you, it's not cheating, right?
The 0-2 now. Swung on and hit on a line out to short. Charging his Pano on to second. Rose on to first. In time. That's a double play, but West will come home to score. As it is Jake Brown bringing home the 8th run for Peninsula. 8-5 your score. A double play, though. Well executed by the middle infield. 6-4-3 it goes. Now 2 outs and nobody on for Casey Burnham.
Of course, no RBI for Jake Brown. The penalty for hitting into the double play. But Peninsula has stretched out the lead.
Burnham had a bunt for a base hit in the 4th. He walked in the 2nd. Sorelli remains in as the first pitch misses inside. Burnham, the speedy center fielder, takes a fastball. Outside corner, now 1-1. From the sidearm slot, goes off speed and misses away. Now 2-1 the count. Hadakanaka working quickly. That's called strike 2. His pace picking up mightily here with 2 outs. Now the pitch. Chop foul.
Miners still with plenty of time in this game. They just trail by 3. 12 outs to play with.
2-2 swung on and rolled out to second. Rose on a few hops, gathers, throws to first for out number 3. Not quite as bad here in the bottom of the 5th. Just 1 run in as Hadakanaka cleans it up. The score is 8-5 Oilers. Miners Baseball on YouTube. Steven Lancia will look to try to get it going for the Miners in the top of the 6th. as we get the 6th started. Not closed. He stands in, 8-5 your score. The Miners surrender a run in the bottom of the 5th to expand the Oilers' lead, as Mose Hayes will stay on the mound. A clean and quick 5th inning, and a foul ball to start Lancia.
Trey, we saw the entire Miners team, coaching staff and all, step out of the third base dugout in between the bottom of the 5th, top of the 6th.
0-1, swing and a miss. A nice curveball from Hayes.
Had a meeting out there. Of course, not sure what was said, but Tyler LeBrun trying to fire up his squad, who's looked lethargic in this game. A 3-error 4th, giving up 5 unearned runs in this game, and they trail by 3.
And now the 0-2. Spins a curveball, misses away. 1-2 on Lancia.
I expected to see that after the 4th inning, but instead it comes after the 5th, which is interesting.
Well, you want him to take a sec maybe to get a breath and kind of think about everything. The 1-2. Another curveball that is going to be called strike 3. As it hits the inside corner. Might have been sold by Carson Seaman as he was throwing that one down to third before the call was made, but he makes it look cool, as it is called strike 3, and it is 1 out for Trey Triolo.
I think that's a great point. I think oftentimes you see coaches lay into a team right after a disaster incurs, and that probably won't go over too well. They're already mad at themselves, but let it simmer for an inning and then say your piece.
As Triolo will stand in for his 3rd at-bat of the night. Had a hit in the 2nd, came around to score. Struck out in the 4th, takes a strike here from Hayes.
Mose looks just fine. 4 batters faced, 3 strikeouts, and a ground out.
Set to deliver the 0-1 now. Curveball. Misses low.
Hayes in that game against the Miners on the 18th set down the first 6 batters he saw before finally allowing a base runner, which was a walk to Peno.
1-1, swung on line right back at the pitcher. Hayes, he stabs it, falls to the ground, picks it up, and throws on to first in time for out number 2. An athletic play there by Mose Hayes, and the 2nd out for the Miners here in the 6th.
The Miners were finally able to get to Hayes in his 4th inning of work, where they were able to score 3 times. Doubles in that inning by Casey Sunseri and Josh Peno. So we will see how long Hayes goes. But right now, everything going right, as you see on that line drive. Hayes able to keep it nearby. 5 up, 5 down for him.
The last time Rose hit, it was not. He had a 2-run home run to make it 5-2 Miners. A lot has happened since then as he takes a fastball that misses for ball 1.
Feeling good if you're the Miners at that point. Up 5-2.
The 1-0 now. Fastball on the outer half. Called strike 1. What do you think he said to them? The first thing maybe that head coach Tyler LeBrun said in that meeting outside of the dugout there, as the 1-1 is swung on and grounded out to short. That'll have to wait, Howie, as Becker's throw on to first is in time. It is out number 3, and the Miners are recording in order here again in the 6th. We head to the bottom half. Don't go anywhere. This is Matsu Miners Baseball presented by Napa Auto Parts. Bottom of the 6th. Oilers 8, Miners 5. Dalton Bowling stands in. Takes a fastball low from Liam Hadakanaka to lead it off for the Oilers here. 1-0 it will go. 6 hits for the Miners, 5 hits for the Oilers in this game. As that one is swung on and drilled down the left field line. It is low, it is foul. As it loops just past the chalk, it'll be 1-1.
Bowling just missed another. That one almost clanked off the foul pole. Or the fair pole, maybe it should be called.
I've always wondered. Because more of it points foul than it does fair.
But if you hit it, it's fair. So it's the fair pole, right?
Well, why is the end zone in play? 1-1. Swung on. Again line down the third base line. Another foul ball, 1-2.
And why are we driving on the parkway and parking in the driveway?
I
Some
knew
things
that was
will never
coming.
be known.
I knew that was coming, Howie. But that is the best question you have ever asked me, and I'm glad you've brought it up here again. Let us know if you have the answer, as that one is swung on and popped up. Infield, Pano. Camps makes the catch. It is out number 1 as the shortstop puts it away. That'll bring up Chase Catafias.
Give props to Liam Hadakanaka. Came in a pressing situation and was able to do a pretty good job as he settled in now in the 5th, now the 6th.
As the first pitch is in the dirt, skips up 1-0. But as I asked Howie before the top half was rudely interrupted, what do you think was said in that meeting there as the 1-0 is swung on line right back at Hadakanaka softly as Rose tries to backhand, but under his glove into center field. That ball had eyes on it, and it found grass. Now a base runner with 1 out. We'll say it's a hit. As Catafias reaches, and Carson Seaman will come up with 1 on and 1 out.
Now batting number 26.
I think that the first thing that Tyler LeBrun said was, we still have a chance in this game. I think that's a point that has to be driven home right off the bat. This isn't a speech that's being given after the game. It's being given during the game that you only trail by 3. So you have to motivate your players.
As the first pitch to Seaman, misses high and away.
And let them know that there's still a chance in this game. I think that the speech was probably largely positive in that sense that, look, have we played really bad in spots in this game? Of course, but we still have game left.
So that one is swung on and skied in the air to right field. Now coming on rather quickly is going to be Alex Vergara. He makes the catch for out number 2.
Still have 9 outs left. Dynamic offense. Mose Hayes is rolling. But if you can start to get to Mose, just never know.
A fly out of Seaman. And now Trey Becker will come up with a runner on first base and 2 out. Sinceri in the third baseman as the first pitch is in the dirt. Blocked up by Steven Lancia, 1-0. Hadakanaka pounds his chest there. Takes credit for the miss as he will reset. Gives his runner Catafias a look and now delivers a ball, 2-0. I think you're right. I think that's how you have to go about it. As the 2-0 to Becker misses inside. Runner goes for second. A bullet by Steven Lancia. As Catafias never had a chance. The Miners get out of the 6th inning. They trail at 8-5. Don't go anywhere. This is Matsu Miners Baseball presented by Napa Auto Parts. We begin the 7th inning here, as this is Miners Baseball on YouTube, and I will now turn it back over to Howie Boxley to finish out tonight's game. 8-5, the Oilers lead the Miners.
Thanks so much, Trey. I don't wear hats, but if I did, it would be turned inside out as Cade Manning leads off here in the 7th on Mose Hayes. Floats that one in over the outside corner. Called a ball by Paul Craddock. Mose Hayes, 6 up, 6 down. The local arm has looked good so far. We'll have to tangle with Manning, and then the top of the Miners order. Tapped foul.
What is your strife with hats, Howie? I've never really understood it.
I've just never really understood the hat. Honestly, feels uncomfortable. I'm one of those guys that puts it on and is adjusting it for about 20 seconds, and I'm like, why am I even wearing it?
Well, it's not all for fashion. You know, some people use it to block the sun. It's original intention.
Well, I mean, if I'm playing baseball, of course, I'll put on a hat. 1-1. Downstairs, 2 balls and a strike. You know there's other things to block the sun, Trey. You have sunglasses. You have your hand, which is usually pretty good.
You're taking the hand over a hat?
I just don't want to put it on. I just don't think it feels great, which might be a terrible take on a baseball broadcast.
I think it is.
2-1. Drilled. Foul past first.
At the beginning of the season, we get to Alaska. It's day number 1. It felt like Christmas Day. We're getting all the gear, and we're offered some hats. Howie didn't even take one for consolation. Just completely outright denied the hat in general.
Now, that was a bad move on my part, as I could have bartered some away.
Criminal. That's what I'm saying. Hand it out to somebody. Christmas present.
2-2. Popped up in foul ground, long run for Graydon West. It's into the fans. A nice crowd on a Friday night as we start July 4th weekend, and some of them have hats on. Some of them don't, though. So I can't be the only one.
Hard-pressed to find another.
Manning battling here.
To each is their own, Howie. I mean, I can't
2-2. Grounded foul.
judge too hard. We've had our hot dog conversation already several times this year. We all have our little weird
that one
things,
turned sour. We don't want to break up the broadcast partnership. I will say my brother, 5 years older, was in a band called the Hats in high school.
So this is much deeper than we even realize.
2-2. Misses outside 3-2. No, I love the Hats as the band, as a concept. My brother would go out and talent show, bright pink cowboy hat. He was the lead singer of it, and he can't sing. But he put on a performance, threw out hats to the crowd, won back-to-back talent shows. 3-2. Lifted out of play. Another look for Graydon West, but he doesn't have a play.
Foul ball brought to you by Don Dillard.
I believe that video is on YouTube somewhere. If you search up DAR Talent Show Hats Concert, you can probably see my crazy brother with his long hair running around yelling about hats, an original song written by him and his friends that won not one Trey, but 2 DAR high school talent shows.
I would love to see this band perform now.
Speechless. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Mose Hayes wins the battle on Cade Manning.
Mose Hayes. A guy that we didn't get to see really much before this game has come in here and just dominated the Miners so far.
Carter Young will try to be the first
Young.
man to reach on Mose Hayes. It was Miners early on. They scored the first 3 runs. They also led 5-2. A disastrous 4th inning, though. Cost them. Gave up 1 more in the 6th. Right now they trail 8-5. Top of the 7th, 1 down. Pitch to Young. Lifted out of play. Mose Hayes pounds the strike zone. He's getting hitters to foul off pitches, get behind in counts. He's finishing them off with a curveball. He struck out 4 Miners. Got a couple of ground outs and a pitch lined off of him. that he was able to throw out Trey Triolo on. 0-1. Lifted down the left field line. Long run for Chase Catafai. Still coming. Now in foul territory. He slows. Throws up the leather. Catches it for out number 2.
He's working quickly, too. This has been efficient. We've seen... I have to get a tally going. 5, count that, 4 strikeouts. And outside of that, all groundouts up until that fly out there. He's kept it low in the zone, commanded it, and hasn't had to use too many pitches.
Casey Sunseri will bat now as he tries to work through the entirety of the minors' order without allowing a runner to reach. The pitch. Curveball, beauty, strike 1.
Has this crowd behind him. The native out of Homer, Alaska, is feeling it here.
Oh, 1. Swing and a miss. Filthy again.
Continues to work that outside curveball, and I think at a certain point, if you're a minors hitter, you just have to watch it. As hard as that sounds, it looks so good. Crosses where the grass meets the dirt, probably right over. Just breaks at the last minute.
Hayes has Sunseri where he wants him. The 0-2. Hit on the ground and through. Finally, someone gets to Mose Hayes. It's Casey Sunseri with a 2-out knock here in the 7th.
And it really sped up this game. Mose Hayes coming in here and just shutting the minors down. Casey Sunseri says not so fast. We need some runs. If it's meant to be, it is up to me. And he stands on first base now. How about this? Nick Sorelli finally gets to face a righty.
Sorelli 0 for 3 in this game. Pitch. Curveball. Misses outside. Hayes got Sorelli to strike out swinging the first time these two tangled.
That's right. He was the leadoff hitter there in the 5th. He got the party started, and now we're going to get another update on the lick rule. I don't really know what else to call it.
Yeah, Jacob Waldrop, third base umpire, who's behind Mose Hayes right now, made him get rid of that baseball as he went to his mouth on the rubber. Can't do that. Has to be off the rubber. Wipe after. It's the rules as we are told.
Interesting, they have to exchange the baseball, too, there.
No substance, even if it's from your mouth. 1-0. High 2-0.
Shouldn't that be allowed if I naturally produce it? I'm allowed to use it? That could get extremely dangerous.
It's 2-0 now on Nick Sorelli. Sunseri leads off first. The pitch. Big swing and a miss. Nick Sorelli's hat almost fell off on that swing. Sunshine is back out at Coral Seymour. Shines down on the field as the Miners try to rally here in the 7th. 2-1. Driven down the right field line. That one is curling. And it's just foul. Wow. That was closer to the chalk than I thought it was going to be off the bat.
Yeah, that line really thins out there as it gets to the wall. Thought it had some hook on it, but it really stayed true. Made it close.
Keep in mind, one of the quirks of the ballpark, the bullpen doesn't go all the way to the outfield wall on either side. If a ball is hit fair and hooks into that corner, it's an automatic ground rule double. That ball would have taken an odd carom and somehow been fair. We could have seen it right there. Probably would have cost the Miners a run. 2-2. Yanked foul again.
That one probably looked ripe for Nick Sorelli. Doesn't get many curveballs up in the zone like that. We've seen him throwing a lot of off speed, but that one a bit inside and up in the zone. Not a great pitch to hit still, though.
It is a full count on Nick Sorelli. Oilers lead 8-5. Runner will get a head start. As this ball is ripped into right field, a base hit for Nick Sorelli. Sunseri's going to head to third. Here comes the throw. It's going to be late. Sunseri hustles all the way. Back-to-back hits for the Miners, and they will send the tying run up to the plate here in the 7th.
Yeah, how about the heads-up base running? Sunseri kind of took a half step to slow down there and get the right angle on third base. A nice slide. And after an incredibly poor start to the 7th, you have a guy that has uber success with 2 outs and Alex Vergara.
Vergara has already extended his hitting streak to 8 games. In this one, he comes into action with 5 doubles, 2 home runs. If he can get a third, we'd be tied at 8. Mose Hayes comes set. Fires to Alex. Swing and a miss. That was a wicked off-speed pitch for strike 1.
Yeah, and if you're Mose Hayes, you just go back to what's been comfortable. Work that fastball, work it away. You get a righty to step back in there. Can really throw your pitch.
Vergara waits in the right-handed batter's box in 0-1. Off the plate. See how Mose Hayes can do with a little bit of base traffic and a little bit of pressure as he retired the first 8 Miners he saw, but a couple of singles by Sunseri and Sorelli. And the Miners have an opening here in the 7th. One off the plate, 2 balls and a strike. Strange game. It started before it even started. A late scratch in Jacob Steele, who came down with an illness, replaced by Nathan Rose. A lot of mistakes in this game, especially for the visitors. But still just a 3-run game as Vergara pinwheels the bat through the zone, waves it around his right shoulder, and awaits a 2-1. Low, 3 balls and a strike as Vergara waits out Mose. Seagulls fly around Coral Seymour. 397 to the batter's eye in center. Scoreboard out in left center field. Luscious spruce trees line the outfield beyond the fence. The 3-1. Fastball pops the mitt. And now it's full. Nick Sorelli will get to take off on the pitch. If Vergara can hit a gap, Sorelli might be able to chug all the way around.
Just chip away any way you can here. Doesn't have to be a homer. 1 run would even make a big difference.
Hayes checks on Nick, who isn't held on. Adds to his lead. There he goes. Swinging a high fly ball. Right center field. Coming in is James Shimashita. He's going to give way to center fielder Casey Burnham, who has that to retire the side. The Miners, with a couple of 2-out base runners, can't cash them in. It's time to stretch it out in Kenai. Oilers 8, Miners 5. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Bottom of the 7th, and the Miners trail 8-5. Our first look at Slick Briley, who delivers low to Trey Becker. CJ Briley goes by Slick, which is one of the more interesting name ask here on the season. 1-0 to Becker. That one is downstairs 2-0. Of course, the first question you ask Slick Briley, why are you named Slick Briley? As he attends Seminole State College, will be at Northeastern State in the fall, 2-0. Pumps it over for a called strike, originally from Hugo, Oklahoma. A left-handed 6'4", 190-pound sophomore. His older brother also went to Seminole State College. 2-1. Downstairs, 3 balls and a strike. One of the first practices, his older brother tried to make a diving effort. One of the coaches remarked, he's just trying to be slick. It stuck. Younger brother, CJ, gets there. 3-1. Missed outside ball 4 as he loses Trey Becker to start the 7th. Fast runner aboard. Trey's stolen 5 bases. When CJ gets there, he does the exact same thing. Tries to dive and make a catch. The coaches remark, oh, you're just like your older brother, Slick. They started calling him Slick Jr., and now just shortened to Slick. Slick Briley. They call him as Shun Sakaino bats, shows bunt, pops it up, out to second. Rose is going to have to play it on a hop. He's going to throw to first. It's going to be in time. Return to second. That is a tag play at second, as it's no longer a force. The ball got into left field. So it's going to go 4-3 on the putout of Sakaino. He's going to get a successful sacrifice, and he's gunned down 4-3. Becker down to second, 1 down.
Yeah, that's a mental blip there for Nathan Rose as Sakaino held up. That ball was popped up. He waited pretty much right next to the first base bag. Becker's waited right next to the first base bag. Could have had a double play, potentially, or at least the lead runner. Instead, just 1 out. We should take the out, but it is at first.
Graydon West bats now and takes outside from Briley.
Miners wanted out a couple of lefties. As the season went on, they did so. Now we get to see Slick. Excited to see his first start coming up here soon.
1-0 pitch. Upstairs 2-0. This is virtually a bullpen, a live bullpen for Slick Briley, who's scheduled to start the game on Monday, July 4th. Miners have also added left-handed hurler Josh Mendez, who we presume we'll see soon enough. 2-0 pitch to Graydon West. Upstairs 3-0 now, as Slick is having a little bit of trouble commanding the zone.
Just got to settle in here, and the guy that came in and started getting to know the rest of the team lightning quick. Big personality.
Delivers a strike here to Graydon West.
A lot of positive energy.
Owen Lesh actually recruited Slick Briley. They were teammates once upon a time at Seminole State College. 3-1. Skips up there. He loses Graydon West. Second walk issued by Slick. 2 on, 1 out here in the 7th.
Now batting number 8, James Shimashita.
Batter will be James Shimashita. Shimashita is 1 for 3 in this game. Singled, scored a run. First pitch. Upstairs 1-0. Trey, what are your first impressions of Slick on the mound?
Yeah, different kind of motion, and I think it's deceptive out of his hand. Always is with these lefties, but a bit more over the top than I was expecting. The way he starts it.
Runner goes to third, pitches outside, throw down to Top of the 8th inning, Oilers 8, Miners 5, and Trey, suddenly things getting close at the top of the Alaska Baseball League.
The Miners still on top as they are now a full game after the win last night, but the Pilots right on their heels at 12-5. The Bucks there at 12-10. They are red hot, Howie, and they are just 3.5 games out of first coming into tonight. The Oilers, these Kenai Peninsula Oilers at 5-12, 8 games back, in the Chinooks at 4-15, still in the basement, 10 games back. We talked about magic number earlier, Howie, but the Miners trying to find a way to get that number down as they trail this one 8-5.
They do. Glacier Pilots lead 2-0 in the 5th inning. Keep in mind that game started an hour later than this one. Josh Pano leads off the 8th against Mason Kokodinsky, who delivers low for ball number 1. Kokodinsky takes over for Mose Hayes, who went 3 scoreless innings, only allowed a couple of hits. Struck out 4, 6-4, 225, the billing on Mason, who delivers a 1-0. Fastball that catches the outside corner. Leola Marymount University for Kokodinsky. He's been there for 3 years now, originally from Phoenix, Arizona. Stares in at Josh Pano as he makes his 5th appearance of the year for the Oilers. 1-1. Lifted over near the first base dugout and out of play. It's a ball and 2 strikes now. Kokodinsky with a 4.35 ERA. Just over 10 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs allowed so far. 7 walks, 11 strikeouts for Kokodinsky, who's ahead of Pano here, 1-2. Miners with 6 outs to score at least 3 times. Pitch lifted out of play again. The at-bats have started to get better here for the Miners as Mose Hayes was on a roll. Saw a couple of hits in the 7th inning. Josh Pano hanging tough. It's going to be a battle, Trey, but we know the Miners have the firepower to get back in this game.
We've seen him come back. We've seen the fight. Josh Pano has been great. Let's see what he's got.
Swings and misses. Pitch dropped by Carson Seaman. He will apply the tag. Josh Pano, fans, to start the 8th.
You just need a little break. Wherever you can get it. A couple runners on. Would have been great to get that 6th run as they had him on the corners there with 2 outs in the 7th, but still time.
Steven Lancia will bat. He's 1 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Watches that pitch bounce up there. Really good crowd, Trey, on a Friday night. 4th of July weekend. Tons of fans down the 3rd base line. Some of the concourse and the 1st base line as well. As that one drills Lancia. That probably didn't feel too good. Luckily, he's got an elbow guard to protect that spot. And he'll trot down to 1st with 1 out.
Hey, take the base runner if you're Matsu. Those are never fun, but thankfully he did have the guard on to protect it there. And like I said, Howie, any way you can do it. Base runners are everything right now. And now the tying run's on deck. You just need a couple breaks, maybe a bloop and a blast, whatever works to get back in this game.
Lancia hit for the first time this year at the plate. Of course, behind the plate, he always takes a beating when you don the tools of ignorance, as Trey Triolo will bat. Take low for ball 1. Just need one more base runner and someone to crush one. Man on deck is Nathan Rose. He's shown he can already do that. Did it earlier in this game. 1-0. Called strike. Good pitch this time by Kokodinsky. Spent some time in the West Coast League with the Walla Walla Sweets in Walla Walla, Washington.
I don't know how you execute that so well every time. I would get caught up in one of the Wallas or the Lallas.
1-1. Swing and a miss. It is a ball and 2 strikes now.
Can you imagine calling for that team? Having to say Walla Walla?
Seems like you'd have to shorten it, right?
Wawa maybe? Then you're talking about the gas station.
1-2. Hit hard into center field. That's going to send Burnham back. Had Triolo played perfectly. Line out for out number 2.
Triolo's squaring the ball up again, but
Nathan Rose.
right at him. Unfortunate there. Nathan Rose already a home run in this game. Let's see if he can get his fill-in line a little bit improved here.
You know, Trey, if the Oilers need a concert idea for the 4th of July, all they need to do is call Nathan Rose's parents. World-renowned
That's true, yes.
violinist. They would put on a heck of a show if they were here Monday. Pitch to Rose. Hit hard, right to Shun Sakaino. Game not going well for the Miners right now. Off to the bottom of the 8th. Oilers 8, Miners 5. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Bottom of the 8th, the second new face for the Miners. First appearance for Josh Mendez, who hails from Corpus Christi, Texas. He's a senior there, and he's now the oldest player on the Miners team. He beat you out, Trey, which is tough to do.
I know.
24 years old, born in 1997. 5'10", 200 for Josh Mendez, who is currently a grad student at Our Lady of the Lake in San Antonio. Do battle with Dalton Bowling and deliver a fastball high to him. Bowling, 1 for 2 in this game. He's hit a homer, he's scored twice, and he's knocked in 3.
Knew how talented of a hitter he was before this game. Got to see it on display all night.
1-0 from Mendez. Swing and a miss. That is a good fastball. It sits about 86 to 89.
Even
for
in the
Josh.
Even the last at bat, just drilling baseballs foul. But for Josh Mendez, nice opportunity to get his first appearance for the Miners.
This one swung on and hit out of play by Bowling.
Foul ball brought to you by Liz Dalton.
Mendez,
Down by 3 and not too much pressure.
quiet, but excited for what Alaska has to bring. Was asking what fun adventures there were to be had in his first van ride a few days ago. He's ahead of Bowling, 1-2. Big leg kick and a fastball high. Lively for Mendez, who also sports a cutter, a circle changeup, and a curveball.
He was the comeback player of the year at Coastal Bend College for his time at Our Lady of the Lake.
2-2. Swung on and hit hard into left center field. Coming on is Triolo. He's going to have to play that on a hop. Leadoff hit for Dalton Bowling.
Now let's see how Mendez can bounce back. His fellow newcomer, C.J. Briley, had a really nice bounce back to keep this game at 8-5 in the 7th inning. Now Mendez is going to get his chance. His favorite motto is "Let's get it." So Howie, let's get it here.
He will try to. He was at Coastal Bend College in 2019, 3 years ago. Had a 3.47 ERA with the Cougars, over 16 appearances. Graduated from University of Texas San Antonio, UTSA. Played baseball there. Pitch, Catafai shows bunt, yanks it back, takes the ball.
A road runner.
Now, with Our Lady of the Lake, where he is a graduate student. Pickoff attempt here. And backstanding is Dalton Bowling, trying to get his graduate degree in nonprofit organization management. Don't quote me on that title, but that is the premise of it. 1-0. Catafai shows bunt again and takes up and away.
That's the gist, yep. There's a lot of crazy names out there for certain programs nowadays.
There is. Get to the point. What are we trying to learn?
Not to say those programs are crazy, but, yeah, you know. Get specific now.
2-0. Catafias lays this one down. It's a good one down the first base line. Lancey is going to have to charge it. Throw high. Sorelli gets his foot back on the bag just in time to nab Catafias, who has a successful sacrifice, but the first base dugout wanted more. Looking for the bunt single. They don't get it.
Catafias can't believe it, and he immediately signals to the headphones there. No replay here in the ABL. But that was a close play, Howie, at first.
That was really close, and Nick Sorelli was pulled off the bag for a short time, but got his foot back on the mat, back on the pillow, says Levante Palmer, as now Larry McCann will be serenaded in Larry Chance and ask the umpires to come together. And to me, Trey, look, I'm sorry, but this is just silly. Levante Palmer is right there. He clearly has the best look of any umpire. Don't understand how this decision could be changed from someone who is 90, maybe 180 feet away.
I'm right there with you, Howie, but sometimes that's how this game works. For the first 2 weeks, we were seeing an appeal for left-handed batters down the first base line. But this one holds up.
Monte Palmer points to the base. Calls Chase Catafias out for the second time. Does that count as 2 outs now? Yes. Carson Seaman will bat.
Pirates scored a run after being retired 4 times in an inning the other day. So, yeah, well, this will go the opposite way. 2 outs.
It's true. They didn't do it right. Got to stay on the field and appeal for the opposing team.
Oilers tried to.
As Carson Seaman bats with a runner in scoring position. Takes low for ball 1. Seaman 0 for 2. Line out, fly out, sacrifice fly for Carson. Part of that big 4th inning. Really the difference in the game right now. 5 runs scored by the Oilers, all of them unearned. 3 errors in the frame and one that the Miners wish they could add back. 1-0. That one pops the leather. Paul Craddock raises his right fist, calls it a strike.
We got a good fist bump strike called today. We'll see the fingers tomorrow from Levante Palmer.
That's right. They'll shift around once more. Same crew, of course, with the Kenai trip. For all 5 games. This is just game 2, 1-1. This is up and away. Lots of fun ahead. 4th of July on Monday. Sunday game as well at 2 o'clock local time. 6 o'clock for Saturday and Monday right here on YouTube. 2-1. Swing and a shot into center field. Carter Young retreats, still going, slows now in right center. Has plenty of room to make the catch. Tagging from second is Bowling. The throw is pretty good. The tag in time. It's a laser from Carter Young to nab Dalton Bowling. Off to the 9th. Last chance for the Miners. They will send up 9-1-2. Oilers 8, Miners 5. Matsu Miners Baseball on YouTube, presented by Napa Auto Parts. Ninth inning, last call for the Miners as Drake Fries is on to try to get the save for Peninsula. Before he does, Trey, let's take a look at our next 3 games.
Well, we talked about it last night, Howie. Same look again tonight. The next 3 against these Oilers. Saturday the 2nd. Tomorrow, here at 6 p.m. Sunday, we have a bit of an earlier start, I believe 2 p.m. And then back again on the 4th of July. A nighttime game there. Oilers, Miners, let's play 3 more. But let's see if this Miners squad can come back and get win number 2 here in Kenai.
This is big right-hander Drake Fries, originally from Orange, California, attends San Diego University. Made 6 appearances there this year. And gave up 13 earned runs, 6'3", 175 for Drake Fries, who goes to work on Cade Manning. And a fastball over the outside corner for strike 1. Noah Hennings has checked into the game to play left field for Chase Catafias. So a new left fielder here in the 9th. Fries, the 0-1. Taken low, the appeal down to third. Waldrop says Manning didn't swing.
Well, the best name was taken off the field in Catafias, but hey, at least Drake Fries is now into the game, so that's pretty close.
Gonna make us hungry up here. 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Trey, you know the only thing that would be better right now, right?
Ice cream?
If we could get a side of Mason Brandenburger with our fries.
Wow, Howie, I wasn't ready for something that was that well put together.
1-2 is swung on and hit into left. First chance for Noah Hennings, who makes the catch for out number 1 and tries to speed us out of here with comedy like that.
I mean, what am I even supposed to... There's no condiment last names or even a drink or... That's gold.
Something like that, as Carter Young will stand in. Miners with 2 outs left in this game. They were up 3-0. They were up 5-2. But now trail 8-5 when it counts in the 9th inning. Fries into the windup, kicks and fires. Lifted out of play. Young, 0 for 3 in this game. Does have a sacrifice fly. 14 runs, 6 RBIs now for Carter, who just tries to be a base runner in a 3-run game. 0-1. Called strike, 0-2.
Yeah, this one just slipped away. Almost an instant replay of Monday's loss to the Oilers, or excuse me, to the Pilots.
0-2. Outside 1 ball and 2 strikes. That game ended 8-5. Glacier Pilots, when the Miners looked good early, had leads, but ended up committing 6 errors. 3 so far in this one. Young fouls that one off the inside of his ankle. That didn't feel good.
This is a scrappy group here. Peninsula.
Oilers trying to improve to 6-12 on the year. Remember, to make the playoffs, you only have to make it to 4th place. Right now, they're 2 games up on Chugiak. They would be 2.5 up on Chugiak as they try to make the top of the world playoffs. 1-2 pitch to Young. Swing and a miss. Fries blew it right on by, and now the Oilers are an out away as the fans get loud.
Sinceri's been hot tonight. He is the final hope. Let's see if he can keep it going here.
How about number 14, Casey Sinceri?
Sinceri reaches last time up. First man to get a hit off Mose Hayes. Don't forget the effort from him. 3 innings in the middle. Really held this game down. He's in line for the win. Pitch. Drops in for a called strike. Pretty curveball this time by Fries.
You know, early in the game, that lead just didn't feel comfortable. There wasn't that big hit that really made it feel real.
0-1. Another curveball. And now the Oilers are a strike away from putting away the Miners.
This team just wasn't able to get their feet underneath them tonight. And the Oilers, some perfectly placed balls.
0-2. Driven into right center field. That's going to send Casey Burnham back. He's going to slow and make the catch to end the game. The Peninsula Oilers even up the series. They defeat the Miners 8-5 from Kenai, as they will celebrate at the center of the diamond. Trey, tough game for the Miners in this one, But in defeat, who did you think looked pretty good for Matsu?
Nathan Rose was asked to come into this game, to start this game about 5 minutes before the first pitch was thrown. He came in, he hit his first home run of the season tonight. The Moon Man is certainly my player of the game. Howie, what'd you think?
I'm going to go with Josh Mendez and Slick Briley. Let's make it a combo. Why not?
I like it.
They both come in, make their first appearance of the year, and they do a good job. They don't allow any runs. They gave the Miners a chance to come back. But in the end, the Oilers were just way too much in this game for Matsu as they win it by a final score of 8-5. 5 runs for the Miners, 8 hits, 3 errors, 6 men left. 8 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, and 4 men left for the Peninsula Oilers. Winning pitcher, Mose Hayes, as Andrew Tillery takes his second loss of the year. He is now 0-2. We will join you right back here for Saturday Night Baseball from Coral Seymour Memorial Ballpark. Join us at 6 o'clock Alaska, 10 o'clock Eastern for Trey Yanity. My name is Howie Boxley saying good night from the Peninsula.